is where I'm from, this is where it started. This is what becomes of the broken-hearted. And this is going out to those departed.
Hey bonjour, mimanda Nishnaabemdaa Noongo. Miigwech ganawam de meg, miigwech ki bija yeg ma gin tubing minwa. Nui jagna shim nongum ge band man noj ge go ga the band among aja. Talk about some things we've covered before. Anyways, check videos 42 and 43 for stuff we've already done on basic verb conjugation for VAI verbs. If you know what that means, watch the old videos. I talk about it there, probably too long. But so I'll just point out a couple things this video that I maybe didn't mention before. So with a simple verb like jibakwe, he or she is cooking, to make it for me, you put ne on the front. Ne jibakwe. So you'll hear that ne on the front of verbs when it's talking about first person, and other forms too, but we'll just talk about first person today. There are a whole bunch of other forms too. It can be ne, or in my dialect, there's a lot of just n. It's just the n sound. It's hard to hear, especially when you're just starting to learn Nishnaabemdaa. It can be de or nda. I don't even know why I'm writing this, because my writing is too messy and it's too small. So I'll write them here and just write them here for fun. So there's nde, nda, also ndo, and also for the first person, or for conjugations that begin with n, it can sound like an M, especially with verbs that start with a B, like bope. I would say mbop, mbop. I could say nibop or ndobop. But depending on your dialect, depending on the speaker even, it can sound like an M. So I would say mboshkop. I burst out laughing. That's what we say instead of LOL. We say mboshkop. Means I burst out laughing. Excuse me. So yeah, these are called person prefixes and suffixes, the things that go on the front and the end of the verb, determining who's doing the action. So like njibakwe, jibakwe, you already know this means I'm cooking. So I'll just also point out that a lot of verbs that start with a consonant and have a long vowel immediately after, it's often just ne, njibakwe. You can say ndo jibakwe and you'll still be understood. Most of the time it's ne. But just keep an ear out for these different forms. I know it can be confusing, but because we want to learn like a simple rule to understand what's being said or what we are saying. But just pointing that out, there's a lot of those. You can use ndo on the front of pretty much any verb. Marianne Corbier, who's a really good teacher, she's taught me so much of what I know in Nishnaabemdaa. Really thankful for her. She teaches that you can use do. That's what she teaches her students. You can throw do on the front and you'll be understood. It might not be the same way a fluent speaker talks, but you'll still be understood. And that's all we're really going for when we're first trying to learn Nishnaabemdaa. So just wanted to point that out. Also, the terminal short vowel, for example, bape, he or she laughs. When me or you are laughing, the short vowel on the end disappears. So I would say nabop or mbop. Sounds like that Hanson song. Nabop, mbop, gidibop, you laugh. So if the verb ends in a short vowel, it disappears when me or you are doing that thing. That's another little tip I wanted to point out. Just going to check my notes, make sure I'm covering everything. Right, I mentioned that often with a verb starting with a long vowel, you will just use the ne, njibakwe. One exception to this is the verb zhaa. He or she goes. We say ndija. For me, I'm going. And for you, it's gidija. So even though there's a consonant and a long vowel, we use nde for me, ndija, or gidija for you. Man, my writing is horrible. It's fun to write though. I like drawing on the whiteboard. Ndija, gdija, ndija, men, we, but not you are going. Gdija, men, we, including you are going. So just an example there with zhaa, we use nde and gde instead of the ne with jibakwe, which has a consonant and then a long vowel. Understand now? So another thing I wanted to point out is if a verb starts with a vowel, for example, ojibwemo. Ojibwemo means he or she speaks Ojibwe. Around here we tend to say Nishnaabemo. We use Nishnaabem for speaking the language. Out west in Minnesota, for example, they often use Ojibwemo for he or she speaks Ojibwe. We say Nishnaabemo. Potato, potato. Tomato, tomato. So if it starts with a vowel like this, Ojibwemo, for me, there's often the ndojibwem, because that vowel's already there. Oftentimes the person prefix will coordinate with that vowel. Not all the time. Maybe. I really don't know for sure. Just wanted to point that out. A couple little hints you can look for when you're trying to figure out which of these person prefixes to use. Ne or in or nde, da, ndo. Like I said, ndo, Marianne Corbier, for example, teaches that you can throw that on the front of any verb and you'll be understood. You could probably throw any of them on the front of any verb and you'd be understood. Might not be the way a fluent speaker speaks, but it's the only way you learn. Try it out, and if you make a mistake, someone might tell you. Aho, misa you, nongom. Migo, bikina, ga, knomog, knomog. All I wanted to teach. See, going didn't ta Nishnaabem, see. Abdek sagoa, gida, gwe Nishnaabem yeg. You gotta try speaking Nishnaabem one. It's the only way you'll learn. Help you. Ball peace.
Now to those departed from a life so young it was barely started. This is going out to the mamas crying 'cause the sun's gone home.